Imagine this. It is 3 in the morning, the house is quiet, and you are pulling yourself out of bed again because your bladder will not let you sleep. Your feet touch the floor, your lower back feels heavy, almost like a dull weight has been sitting there all night, and as you walk to the bathroom, you tell yourself the same thing you have told yourself for months. Maybe this is just what happens after 60. Maybe waking up at night, feeling tired by lunch, and seeing your ankles swell inside your shoes is simply part of getting older. But here is what I need you to understand. Your body rarely whispers without a reason. And when it comes to your kidneys, those whispers matter more than most people realize. I have met people like Linda from Ohio, a careful, active woman who thought her nighttime bathroom trips were just annoying. She blamed age. She blamed the weather. She blamed drinking too much tea before bed. Then one afternoon, while putting on her walking shoes, she noticed the skin around her ankles looked tight and puffy. Still, she waited. She did not feel sick enough to call anyone. She did not feel pain sharp enough to scare her. But when routine blood work finally came back, her doctor told her that her kidney numbers were not where they should be. And that is the frightening thing about kidney stress. It does not always come crashing through the door. Sometimes it arrives quietly, hidden inside small changes you learn to tolerate. A little more fatigue, a little more swelling, a little more pressure in the lower back, a little more waking up at night. Now, I am not saying every bathroom trip means kidney disease. I am not saying every swollen ankle is an emergency. But I am saying this. If you are over 60, you cannot afford to ignore the signals your body keeps repeating. Because your kidneys are working for you every second, filtering your blood, balancing fluids, clearing waste, and protecting you from buildup you cannot see or feel. And after a full night of sleep, the very first drink you choose in the morning can either support that natural cleansing process or make your body work harder than it needs to. So stay with me, because in today's video, I am going to show you the morning drink choices that may help support aging kidneys and the common morning habit that could be quietly working against them. Hello, I am Dr. D. Miller, and welcome back to Health with Dr. D. Miller. For nearly 14 years, I have worked with adults who are trying to protect their energy, their blood pressure, their kidney function, and most importantly, their independence. And if there is one thing I have learned from sitting across from patients in quiet exam rooms, it is this. Most people do not damage their health with one big mistake. They damage it slowly, through small daily habits they were never taught to question. That is why today's conversation matters so much. Because what you drink first in the morning may seem simple, almost too ordinary to think about. But for an aging body, that first drink can send a powerful message. It can say, let us hydrate, let us support circulation, let us help the kidneys do their quiet work. Or it can say, let us start the day with sugar, chemicals, and stress before the body has even had a chance to wake up. So before we go any further, I want you to be honest with me. What is the very first thing you drink when you get out of bed? Is it water? Is it coffee? Is it tea? Is it orange juice? Or is it a sweet creamer coffee that feels comforting because it has been part of your routine for years? Drop your answer in the comments. Because I promise you, thousands of people watching this are doing the exact same thing, and many of them have never connected that morning choice with how their kidneys feel later in the day. If this is your first time here, welcome. This channel is for people who want to stay strong, alert, mobile, and independent as they get older. So if you care about protecting your body after 60, subscribe to Health with Dr. D. Miller, because I want this to feel like a calm visit with a doctor who explains things clearly, not a rushed appointment where you leave with more questions than answers. I want you to feel seen, respected, and encouraged, because protecting your health should never feel confusing or frightening. It should feel possible, even if you are starting with one small change tomorrow morning. In today's video, I am going to walk you through 4 simple morning drinks that may help support aging kidneys. We will start with plain room temperature water, the most overlooked drink in America. Then we will talk about diluted pure unsweetened cranberry juice, properly brewed green tea, and a gentle berry yogurt smoothie that can nourish your body without overwhelming it. And stay with me until the end, because I am also going to reveal the common morning habit that many older adults think is harmless, even comforting, but may quietly be working against their kidneys every single day. Now let us talk about why the morning matters so much, especially after 60. When you are sleeping, your body is not simply resting. Deep inside, your heart is still pumping, your liver is still processing, your cells are still producing waste, and your kidneys are still filtering your blood in silence. Hour after hour, while you are lying in bed, your body is going through a long stretch without any fresh fluid coming in. By the time morning arrives, your urine is often more concentrated, your blood may be slightly thicker, and your kidneys are waiting for one simple thing that many people forget to give them: Water. Not coffee first. Not soda, not a sweet bottled drink. Just clean, simple water. And this becomes even more important as we get older because aging changes the way the kidneys work. Inside each kidney are tiny filters called nephrons. Think of them like millions of little workers, cleaning your blood, removing waste, balancing minerals, and helping your body hold on to what it needs while letting go of what it does not. But over the years, those little workers can become tired. They may not filter as strongly as they once did. They may need better support, better blood flow, and better hydration just to do the same job they used to do easily when you were younger. And here is something many older adults do not realize. The thirst signal can become weaker with age. You may need water, but your body may not shout for it. You may not feel thirsty at all, even when your kidneys are asking for help. I think about James, a retired truck driver from Texas who told me, "Doctor, I drink coffee every morning, and I do not feel thirsty, so I figured I was fine." But not feeling thirsty does not always mean you are well hydrated. It simply means your warning system may not be as loud as it used to be. That is why the first drink of the morning should be plain, room temperature water. It is not fancy. It does not come in a shiny bottle. It does not promise miracles. But from a kidney point of view, it is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Water helps restore fluid balance after a long night. It supports smoother blood flow through those delicate kidney filters. It helps dilute concentrated urine, so minerals and waste are not sitting too heavily in the urinary tract. It gives your body a gentler start instead of forcing your kidneys to begin the day under pressure. Now, I need to be very clear. If you have heart failure, advanced kidney disease, swelling that your doctor is monitoring, or you have been told to limit fluids, you must follow your doctor's personal fluid plan. But for many older adults, a simple glass of room temperature water before anything else is a quiet act of protection. It tells your body before I ask you to work, I am going to support you first. And once that foundation of hydration is in place, we can talk about the next morning drink that may help protect the urinary tract from bacteria that can become far more dangerous with age. Now that we have built the foundation with plain morning water, let us talk about the second drink that deserves your attention, especially if you are over 60, and that drink is diluted, pure, unsweetened cranberry juice. I want to be very clear from the beginning. I am not talking about the bright red cranberry cocktail that tastes like candy and sits on the grocery store shelf loaded with sugar. I am talking about real pure cranberry juice, the tart kind, the kind you almost have to dilute because the flavor is so strong. And the reason this matters is because urinary tract health becomes much more serious as we age. In a younger adult, a urinary tract infection may show up as burning, discomfort, or an urgent need to use the bathroom. But in an older adult, the signs can be much more confusing. Sometimes there is no burning at all. Sometimes the first clue is sudden weakness, unusual sleepiness, confusion, dizziness, or even a fall that seems to come out of nowhere. I remember a woman named Margaret from Pennsylvania. Her daughter brought her in because Margaret had suddenly become forgetful and strangely tired. The family was frightened. They thought, maybe this is the beginning of dementia. Maybe something serious is happening in her brain. But after testing, we discovered she had a urinary tract infection that had been quietly affecting her whole body. That is how sneaky these infections can be in older adults. And when bacteria travel upward from the bladder toward the kidneys, the situation can become far more dangerous. This is where pure cranberry juice may offer support. Cranberries contain natural plant compounds called proanthocyanidins. Think of them like a slippery protective layer that may make it harder for certain bacteria to attach to the lining of the urinary tract. If bacteria cannot hold on as easily, the body has a better chance of flushing them out naturally with urine. Now, cranberry juice is not an antibiotic. It does not treat an active infection. If you have fever, pain, confusion, chills, blood in the urine, or symptoms that worry you, you need medical care. But as part of a kidney-conscious morning routine, a small amount of diluted cranberry juice may help support urinary tract health. The safest way to think about it is simple. Use 1 part pure unsweetened cranberry juice and 3 parts water. This gives you the benefits of the cranberry without overwhelming your system with a harsh, sour drink. And please read the label carefully. If the bottle says cranberry cocktail, cranberry blend, or has a long list of added sugars, put it back. Liquid sugar can spike blood glucose, stress blood vessels, and work against the very kidney support you are trying to create. Also, if you take blood thinners, have a history of kidney stones, or already have kidney disease, speak with your doctor before making cranberry juice a daily habit. But for many older adults, this small morning drink can feel like a simple act of protection. First, you hydrate with water, then you gently support the urinary tract. And once that system is protected, we can move to the next drink, one that helps address another quiet enemy of aging kidneys, inflammation. Now let us talk about the third morning drink, and this one is especially important because it speaks to one of the quietest enemies of aging kidneys: inflammation. I know many of you love your morning coffee, and I want to say this clearly: coffee itself is not automatically the enemy. For some people, a simple cup of coffee can fit into a healthy routine, but here is where the problem begins. Many Americans are not really drinking coffee anymore. They are drinking hot dessert in a mug, filled with sweet creamers, flavored syrups, artificial ingredients, and far more sugar than they realize. So before we get to that dangerous habit later, I want to offer you a gentler option that many older adults overlook: properly brewed green tea. Green tea is not loud, it does not feel dramatic. It does not promise an overnight transformation. But inside that warm cup are natural compounds called catechins, including one powerful compound often discussed in health research called EGCG. Now, do not worry about remembering the scientific name. I want you to think of these compounds in a simple way. They act like tiny protectors moving through the bloodstream, helping the body defend itself against oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is something I often describe to my patients as internal rust. You cannot see it happening. You do not wake up and say, "My blood vessels feel rusty today." But slowly, over time, this internal stress can affect the delicate tissues of the body, including the small blood vessels that feed and support your kidneys. And that matters deeply because your kidneys are not just filters. They are living organs filled with tiny, fragile blood vessels. When those vessels are under pressure, inflamed, stiff, or poorly supported, the kidneys have to work harder to do the same job. I remember Susan from North Carolina, a kind woman who told me, "Doctor, I always thought blood pressure was about the heart. I never realized it had anything to do with my kidneys." And I told her, "Susan, your kidneys and your blood pressure are having a conversation every minute of the day. When blood pressure runs high for years, it can scar those tiny kidney vessels. And when the kidneys struggle, blood pressure can become even harder to control. That is why a morning habit that supports calm circulation matters. Green tea may help support healthier blood vessel function, especially when it replaces something loaded with sugar. But you have to prepare it correctly. Do not pour violently boiling water directly over the tea and let it sit forever until it tastes bitter. Let the water cool for a short moment after boiling, then steep the tea gently for about 2 to 3 minutes. If you like, add a small squeeze of lemon to brighten the taste. And please, do not turn green tea into another sugar drink. No sweet syrups, no heavy sweeteners. Let it stay simple. Now, if you are sensitive to caffeine, have heart rhythm problems, trouble sleeping, or take medications that may interact with caffeine, speak with your doctor first. But for many older adults, a warm cup of green tea in the morning can feel like a calm message to the body. Less stress, more support, a gentler beginning. And for those who wake up not wanting a heavy breakfast, our next morning drink may be even more helpful because it gives your body hydration and nourishment at the same time. Now let us move to the fourth morning drink, and this one is different because it is not just something you sip. It can become a light, gentle morning meal for people who wake up with very little appetite. And if you are over 60, you may know exactly what I mean. Some mornings, a heavy breakfast just does not feel good anymore. You sit down in front of greasy sausage, fried eggs, buttery toast, or a sweet pastry, and instead of feeling stronger afterward, you feel sluggish, bloated, and tired before the day has even started. That is why a low-potassium berry yogurt smoothie can be such a helpful option for many older adults. It gives your body fluid, nourishment, probiotics, and antioxidants in a form that is much easier to tolerate than a heavy plate of food. But listen closely, because not every smoothie is healthy for aging kidneys. In fact, some smoothies that look healthy can quietly become sugar bombs or potassium overloads. I think about Carol from Michigan, a sweet woman who told me she was making a healthy smoothie every morning. And when she described it, she said, "Doctor, I use a banana, orange juice, flavored vanilla yogurt, honey, and sometimes a little sweetened protein powder." Now, to many people, that sounds healthy. Fruit, yogurt, protein, honey, what could be wrong? But for someone watching kidney health and blood sugar, the drink can become too much at once. Bananas and large amounts of orange juice can be high in potassium. Flavored yogurt and honey can push sugar higher than people realize. And when the kidneys are already working harder with age, the goal is not to overload the body first thing in the morning. The goal is to nourish it gently. So here is a smarter version. Use blueberries and strawberries as your main fruits. These berries are naturally refreshing, lower in potassium than many common smoothie fruits, and rich in plant compounds called polyphenols. I like to describe polyphenols as tiny helpers that support the health of your cells. They do not perform magic, but they may help protect the body against everyday stress that builds up over time. Then add plain unsweetened yogurt. Not candy-flavored yogurt, not dessert yogurt with syrup at the bottom, plain yogurt. This gives the smoothie a creamy texture while also supporting the gut with probiotics. And that matters because your gut and kidneys are more connected than many people realize. When the gut is healthier and better balanced, the body may carry less inflammatory stress, and that can indirectly support the organs that filter and clean the bloodstream. A simple recipe would be a small handful of blueberries, a small handful of strawberries, half a cup of plain unsweetened yogurt, a few ice cubes, and just enough water to blend it smoothly. If you want a brighter taste, add a small squeeze of lemon. That is it. No table sugar, no sweet syrup. No orange juice base, no giant banana hidden inside. Keep it simple, light, and kidney conscious. Now, if you already have advanced kidney disease, or your doctor has told you to limit potassium, phosphorus, protein, or fluids, please follow your personal medical plan and ask your kidney doctor or dietitian before making smoothies a daily habit. But for many older adults, this kind of morning smoothie can feel like a soft landing for the body. It hydrates, it nourishes, it gives energy without heaviness. And once you understand these 4 supportive morning drinks, you are ready to hear the habit that may be quietly working against your kidneys every single day. Now we have reached the part I promised you at the beginning, the morning habit that may be quietly working against your kidneys every single day. And I want you to hear me carefully. I am not here to attack coffee. For many people, a simple cup of coffee can be part of a normal morning routine. The problem begins when coffee becomes the very first thing your dehydrated body receives after a long night of sleep, and that coffee is no longer really coffee. It has become a sweet dessert drink filled with commercial creamers, flavored syrups, artificial ingredients, and more sugar than most people realize. Think about what your body is asking for when you wake up. It has gone all night without fresh water. Your kidneys have been filtering waste silence. Your blood may be more concentrated. Your urine may be darker. Your body is waiting for hydration. Something gentle, something clean, something that helps the system start smoothly. But instead, many older adults walk straight to the kitchen and pour in thick, sweet creamer before taking even one sip of water. I remember Robert from Florida who told me, "Doctor, I only drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning." But when we looked closer, that 1 cup had turned into several servings of sweet creamer. It was no longer just coffee. It was a daily sugar drink disguised as a comforting routine. And over time, that matters. Too much added sugar can push blood sugar higher, stress blood vessels, and make it harder for the body to protect those tiny, delicate vessels inside the kidneys. Some commercial creamers may also contain oils, additives, and ingredients that people with kidney concerns should be careful about. Again, this does not mean you can never enjoy coffee. It means your first liquid of the day should not be a chemical and sugar-loaded drink when your body is asking for water. So tomorrow morning, do not try to change your whole life. Just change the order. Before the coffee, drink a glass of plain room temperature water. If you want extra support, later you can try a small diluted glass of pure unsweetened cranberry juice, or a warm cup of properly brewed green tea, or a light berry yogurt smoothie made with blueberries, strawberries, plain unsweetened yogurt, ice, and water. These are not dramatic habits, they are quiet habits. But quiet habits are often the ones that protect you the longest. Your kidneys do not complain every morning. They do not ask for applause. They simply keep filtering, balancing, clearing, and protecting you hour after hour, year after year, so give them a gentler start. Choose one better drink tomorrow, not perfection, just one better choice. And before you make any major changes, especially if you have kidney disease, heart failure, diabetes, fluid restrictions, or take important medications, please speak with your doctor. This video is for education, not personal medical advice. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Health with Dr. D. Miller. Comment below and tell me what drink you will try first tomorrow morning. And remember, your kidneys work quietly for you every second of your life. Tomorrow morning, give them the gentle start they deserve.